Hey, this is Noah. I'm experimenting a little bit with the camera on my new phone and learning some of the cool things that it can do. So, you might expect some improvements to how these videos end up looking. I wanted to talk for a second about the Streets of Rage film that is supposedly in development. News articles have hit my doorstep over the past, maybe year or two, give or take. I haven't checked when they were uploaded. That a Streets of Rage movie is going to be made. The first article that came out was rumoring that it was a thing, I think. Second one was the one that specified that the screenwriter for John Wick was attached. The most recent one was saying that the project was picked up by Lionsgate to actually be produced. So by all accounts, the film is being made. Now, I'm stupid. I didn't know what a screenwriter was. But the guy who's responsible for John Wick, the guy who made the John Wick franchise, who wrote the films, is the guy writing this movie. And that makes me very excited, because I just watched John Wick today for the first time. I had never seen it, sue me. But, such a good movie. I'm absolutely going to watch the sequels, but if he gets to do whatever he wants with Streets of Rage, and he basically just makes John Wick starring Axel Stone, I'm down. I have no problem with that. What I liked about John Wick was that maybe it was more of the time, but it was not often that you just get a character that's just mostly infallible and confident in doing so. The whole point of the film is that the antagonists are basically saying, we're just buying for time until he gets to us, and it's going to happen. And that sets the tone for the movie. And beat-em-up games like Streets of Rage star playable characters who take on hundreds of guys all at once and still come out on top. Honestly, I would like to believe that this man's interest in making a Streets of Rage film may stem from the fact that his setup for a character like John Wick is like that of a protagonist in a beat-em-up game. Granted, he's shooting people and murdering them as opposed to knocking them out with his fists, in most cases. Of all of the movies that I'm aware of that Sega has greenlit, this is the one that I'm most interested in, because the Sega-related films and television series that I know are being made right now are obviously Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the Knuckles TV show, a Yakuza film is being made, Space Channel 5 is getting a film, and Comic Zone. Now, Comic Zone has potential to be something cool, especially if they jump on the trend of a lot of these films that are making 3D animated films that take a lot of inspiration from 2D animation. See below the Spider-Verse film, which started it mostly, like the Puss in Boots film, and that upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one. But the Space Channel 5 one, I'm just like, what's going on there? Anyway, but the Streets of Rage one has me most interested, and that may be because we know more about what it is going to be. To begin with, we know that it is in production. We know who is writing it. So compared to some of these other projects, we have a pretty good picture of what that could look like. If it were just by the books, expect John Wick, maybe a little less graphic, starring the characters from Streets of Rage. And I'd be fine with that. I'm not going to complain about that. What do you guys think about the idea of this film being a thing? I'm going to be disappointed if it ends up being not a thing. When I was looking up about the Streets of Rage film, I ended up discovering that there was a film called Streets of Rage, and I'm going to be really worried and angry if it turns out this is just a remake of whatever that is. But what Sega properties would you like to see adapted into film, television, animation, any of that stuff? Be it anime like the Persona animes, or Shenmue, or a big cinematic film. In my opinion, I think while Yakuza would be very easy to adapt its premise into film, I'd be very interested to see them make a Yakuza film that doesn't star protagonists like Kiryu or Majima or Takayuki Yagami. I'd like to see them instead make an original story set within the Yakuza universe. Because as a person who's already played all the games, I'm not all that interested in seeing the game's stories be put on display, being retold. I'm really not about that sort of thing. I've already played it once. And plus, the games already are very cinematic and very film-like. I think I would rather see something original that I can consider as part of the connected fiction. Let me know in the comments below what you would be interested in seeing. This is Noah. Streets of Rage. See ya.